Good morning everybody. So, Sunday morning and the weather's looking good. So I'm going to get me bum back up in that tree. So I want to try and take a few more branches off over to the left hand side, because that's a bit lower than the right. So what I think I'm going to have to do is, once I'm actually up standing in that sort of middle area, is actually detach myself from the rope so I can get myself over to the left hand side of the tree. I have got a lanyard which basically, once you're off the main rope, that you can wrap round one of the main branches up there, and basically that will just hold you in place on that spot. So I haven't actually used that yet, but I will give it a go today and see how it goes. And I'm going to try and stand a little bit higher in there to see if there is actually any way I mean to work my way up there to maybe take the top off of this somehow. Not sure if it's possible, but I will have a look at that while I'm up there today. No camera girl again today, so I'll take the camera up there with us and give you a bit of a bird's eye view of what it's like when you're up there. So that should be interesting. Bagged up half a dozen bags yesterday. I've just taken the bulk of the green off their main branches and taken that down the rubbish tip. And finally had someone out from the council to look at this problem I've got with these slabs falling off. So I'm expecting them to build a retaining wall, but the guy said what they'll probably actually do, it won't be a wall, but they'll get like a concrete edging slab and cement that along the length of that, which don't know, not quite sure how they're going to go about doing that, but it'll be interesting to see. But just happy to know it's in the pipeline. But being there's not many brickies for the council in this area, it's actually not going to get done till the 19th of January. So a couple of months to wait, but I say, after all the amount of time I've been trying to get it done for, just happy to know it's in the pipeline. So I shall get us up there, people, and give you a nice view of what it's like when you're actually stood up there. You'll be able to look up into the centre of it. So catch you in a bit. Alright everyone, right, that's me finished again. And once again I've cut down a fair amount. As you can see, I've got it pretty level now both sides. So I did get up and hack down a fair old amount, especially on the left. Yeah, was a little bit precarious. I went probably about 8 or 10 feet higher than I did the first time round. And as you'll see, I've hacked off a fair amount. Now look at the size of some of these, just give you an idea of how good that silky saw is. We're not talking small branches. That's going to be a lot more bagging up to do. Whether I'm going to be getting up there again or not, I'm not sure. I think possibly I've done as much as I can safely. Could risk dropping a couple of these here, but they actually look quite rotten about halfway up, so the tree's probably not in the best of condition. But I don't really see the point of dropping a couple of them if I can't do the rest. Could have gone slightly higher than what I have done with the outer parts. thing I'm thinking about is, because at some point I probably will get an expert round to finish this off at some point. So I don't want to hack off too much in case I'll actually be making it harder for them to get up to the higher parts when it comes to it being done by a professional. Climbing gear still on there. So I've got a lot more bagging up to do. I've got some filming of me up there for you, so I didn't get to film as well as I wanted to, and the main reason for that was I couldn't use this this lanyard as well as I'd hoped to. I was going to sort of like film myself once I was connected with that leaning out, and I have cut off some, as you've seen, some pretty substantial branches again, so it would have been good to get a few pics of me doing that and you seeing that saw in action, which again I cannot rate that saw highly enough. Again, it's took all that off, substantial sized branches, and it still doesn't feel like it's blunted in the slightest. It feels like I could do that entire job all over again, considering that's a £20 saw. I tell you, if you're thinking of a good saw now, don't even think about buying a bow saw. Just buy yourself one of them. It actually cuts better than the bow saw does. Now, the problem I had with this lanyard, now say this isn't actually an arborist harness, because I was doing it on the cheap. This is just a rock climbing harness. So this one only has one point in the centre that's rated strong enough to hold your full body weight, whereas on a proper arborist stroke tree surgeon's harness you would have that one, and then you would have two metal rings where these hooks that are on here are just lightweight. These are just to hold tools and stuff. But on a proper arborist harness you would have a ring either side, so be at the side above your waist basically, and they also are strong enough to hold your body weight, and that's what you would put your lanyard onto. So you'd be hooked on there, and then this one would be on the other side, at the side of you. Then just the weight kind of locks on. You can adjust it, you can pull yourself closer if you want to. Trying to do this one-handed, so we let it go one way. But as soon as there's a bit of tension on it, it locks pretty much like them hand ascenders do. It locks in place. Now if you want to let yourself back out again, you just press that button, then it'll let the rope travel through it. Now the problem I was having, because instead of having it at the side like it should have been, because I've got those bits sitting in the centre, this was not sort of orientated quite as it should be, because it's sort of, say, it should be right out here, nice and level. But some of the angles it was getting in there, and then you lean on it, you can actually end up leaning in a way that the rope pulls this way and actually presses the button, and then it obviously starts to slip. So I couldn't really trust that to hold me. So it's not a fault of the device, it is just the fact that I'm using the wrong sort of harness. So that's the reason I didn't do as much filming up there as I was going to, because when you're that high up and you know you make a little slip, you're going. So I didn't get the sort of footage I wanted to, but I have took a little bit just to give you a little bit of an idea of what it was like up there. So when I'll be going back up, I'm not sure. I think I've probably done as much as I can safely. There are a few more. I could go slightly higher on them outer branches, but I don't think there's a whole lot of point. And although there is a couple of the big main branches going up, I think it would be a little bit dangerous, but I think with a rope on it and somebody on the bottom pulling it, I could probably do it. But there's probably not a lot of point if I'm not going to be able to do the rest of them. So I think for that tree, probably that's it now. So I've spent about £160 on this gear, which I think I would have probably got charged something like that for the amount of work I've done so far. And obviously that's just on the one tree. I've got them trees on the side which I also want to trim, and luckily now winter's kicking in, all the leaves are coming off, so I'll wait till all the leaves are fallen off, then I'll probably have a bit of a go at some of these. I have to be careful and find ones that are going to be strong enough to hold my body weight, but I just want to get up there and trim a few strategic bits. That end piece, I want that gone completely, because I already took one sort of, there we go, that was the same height, so I took that one down. That's a bit thicker on that one, so I didn't want to risk just cutting it. Okay, so flatten the fence basically. So I will be attacking these next, but I'm going to wait till all them leaves fall off, and then I'll make my mind up then what I'm going to do. So I'm not disappointed about buying the climbing gear. I think it's been worth it. It's been a little bit of an experience having a go at doing this. So on the whole, I'm happy enough. But I was feeling a little bit iffy up there this time, just because I climbed up that bit higher. I was probably about the height of where that stuff is chopped now. And some of them branches actually say they don't look in the best of condition. You can see the decaying at certain points, which is probably due to it having been so dense and I'm not getting enough sunlight in there. So for now, I think the Conifer's dealt with. It will be these babies on the side next. So that's all for now. Catch you later. Right, here we are up the tree. It's a fair old drop, as you can see. These branches actually do thin out quite a bit as you get up there, but getting up there might not be that easy. Little precarious, but I certainly wouldn't want to fall, that's for sure. So I'm going to try and get a few of these over to the right here. Guys, I've got a bit higher into the tree. There's the top. Some of these branches don't look in the best of condition. But I think I'd be taking a big risk if I did chop any of these main ones. Climbed up a fair bit now. It's at that point now where it probably is getting a little bit dangerous. I've got up this high and I've got a bit more daylight round this side. Be careful just how much I take off, because if I ever do get a professional round to do this, I might be chopping off branches that they'll use to climb up, like that one's quite substantial. So apart from a couple more little bits, I think I'm pretty well done up here. The higher you go, you do start realising just how big a fall it is if you were to go. So I think you've got to be sensible and know when you're maybe pushing your luck a little bit, because falling that distance is going to be a very bad day for you. So I think I'll tidy up with a few more little snips, and then it's back down, I think. Here on the side of caution, I think.